in the third grade Your Turn practice book. We will be working on pages 95 through 96 today. Genre, literary element. Missing glasses. I looked in the pile of clothes. I checked the case where it usually goes. I searched all around, but I finally found that my glasses were right on my nose. Answer the question about the poem. What literary element of this poem makes it a limerick? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use our reading writing workshop, and we're going to look at what a limerick is. So a limerick is a short, funny poem that rhymes. Each stanza has 5 lines. The first, second, and fifth lines rhyme, and the third and fourth lines rhyme. So let's check and see if that's right. Is it a short, funny poem? Yeah, it's funny because the glasses were on her nose. And each stanza has 5 lines. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it has 5 lines. The first, second, and fifth line. So first, second, and fifth line should rhyme. Close, goes, nose. They do. And the third and fourth rhyme. Around and found. So this is the third line and this is the fourth line. And they also both rhyme. So right here, we are going to say this is a short, funny poem with 5 lines. 1, 2, and 5 rhyme. And third and fourth lines rhyme, which these are the elements that make it, the literary elements that make it a limerick. Which lines rhyme? Well, 1, 2, and 5 rhyme. Close, goes, and nose. And you'll see close, goes, and nose, they don't all have the same spelling at the end, but they all have the same sound at the end. And then the lines 3 and 4, around and found. I need to get a new pen. This one is drying out. Let's see. Let's grab a different purple one. Found. What is the poem about? The poem is about a girl looking for her glasses. And I know it's a girl looking for her glasses because here there's a picture of a girl. And number 4, where does the speaker find her glasses? She finds them on her face. She says they were right on my nose. So silly. All right, let's go to page 96. Read the lines of the free verse below, then answer the questions. Learning to read. So I brought books to my mom and dad, like gifts for a long time. They cut out hours for me from their days and nights. They knew I needed to know what every word meant. So the words could be part of my life. Not right away, but sooner than I thought. Letters let themselves be led into lines that looked like the words I heard in my head. Now the world seems smaller somehow. I figured out how to read, and the words bring the whole world of incredible things into my open hands, curious as cats. Find an example of rhyme in the poem. So we're going to try to see if there are any words in here that rhyme. Well, you see here it says bring and things. That kind of rhymes. It's kind of hard to find some rhyming words. So some of the words that rhyme, I'd say bring and things. Even though things has an S. Write an example of alliteration. So alliteration is when we have the same sound being repeated, usually at the beginning of the word again and again. So let me go to our reading writing workshop here, and I am on page 172. It says alliteration and rhyme. Poets use alliteration and rhyme to make descriptions fun to read and poems sound musical. So if we go here, In the first line, the words crawled and creature start with the same sound, k, crawled and k, creature. So if it begins with the same sound, that is an example of alliteration. Okay? So let's see if we can find some parts in this poem that have the same sound throughout. I'd say probably this part. Now the world seems smaller somehow. Seems smaller and somehow all begin with the sound write another line for this poem that either includes alliteration or a rhyme. Okay, so let's go back into the poem and find another part where we see the same sound being repeated or a rhyme. And I see one here that I like a lot. Letters let themselves be led into lines. That is a lot of L's. So I'm going to write letters let themselves be led into lines. And the repeated sound is the ul sound, which means, is this alliteration or rhyme? It is an alliteration. With that beginning sound, which is an alliteration.